Good day to you, everyone, and welcome to the interview with 5 Minutes Crypto and BitGet. My name is Daly, the bilingual host at 5 Minutes Crypto. Joining me today is Mrs. GRACY CHEN. She is the managing director at BitGet Global. Welcome, Mrs. GRACY CHEN. How are you doing today?
Great, I'm feeling great. I'm actually in Miami right now because we just did a commercial for Lionel Messi the day before yesterday.
Dude, it's exciting. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, folks. All about the partnerships with Lionel Messi and all about the recent developments and where BitGet is in terms of the global centralized exchange ranking. I think it's going to be an interesting interview. So let's go right now. So the first question that we have for Mrs. GRACY CHEN is basically introduction. So could you please provide some information about yourself, your position at BitGet, so the audience can get to know you better?
Sure. So in BitGet, I spearhead the market expansion and global development. I joined the firm earlier last year, so it's almost 2 years. And since I joined the team, actually when I joined the team, we only have about 100 to 150 people in our employees, and right now we have about 1,500. After I joined the team, BitGet actually has started to be one of a top 5 futures trading platform and the top 10 spot trading platform according to CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. Well, for myself, my crypto journey started in 2014 when I was a TV host, TV anchor. So one of my TV friends asked me, "Gracie, you should check out Bitcoin." And at that time, Bitcoin was only about 300 USD. And look at where we are now. So at that time, I bought some BTC, Ethereum, and XRP, and sort of started my crypto journey by being an investor. Like I bought these cryptocurrencies on the secondary market. I also do some primary market investment in a few projects, such as this one called BitKeep, and it's recently rebranded BitGet Wallet to BitGet Wallet because BitGet actually has acquired that firm, and I get to know BitGet's founder and the team because of my investment of BitKeep. Yeah, so that's pretty much my working journey. But at that time, I wasn't really doing anything in crypto. I wasn't a project builder. I'm more just of an investor, and I was a chief marketing officer for some Web2 startups.
First of all, thank you so much for the intro. And I would say what an incredible journey you had to, you never know where it's going to take you in terms of career-wise. Yeah, so it's pretty fun journey. And also, the achievements that you've had ever since you joined BitGet is an incredible one. You're now ranking, as you said, top 5 in the futures trading platform. And I got to say, this market is very competitive. So it is no joke. Congratulations. And I think there is another achievement and accomplishment that we all know and love, which is the incredible partnership with a football or soccer legend. His name is Lionel Messi, as we all know, since I think October last year. I'm pretty sure the audience is very curious about why Messi has placed his trust in BitGet. Can you comment on this amazing collaboration?
Sure. So first of all, let me just give you some background information. Actually, before the World Cup, we started to because I look after the marketing team and our whole team and our founder, we started to think, yes, we need to do something in terms of marketing campaign with World Cup leaders. So we looked at some teams and we looked at some individuals. We chose Lionel Messi in the end because Messi is not just a great, successful, I call it GOAT, greatest of all time football player. He's also a very credible leader, very nice and caring father and husband. And he has incredible journey and credibility in the space. And that's the kind of people we want to work with. And just like Messi, we actually, Messi is actually not very tall, right? And when I met him, we briefly talked about this as well, like how he really tried very hard to thrive and to work, to be who he is today. And BitGet is also saying we started in the last crypto winter in 2018, like right after we started the company. There was a big crypto crash, just like the recent crypto bear market that we have experienced for the past 1.5 years. But basically, we thrived. Well, for more partnership about Lionel Messi, I can't disclose the exact number and a lot of information due to the non-disclosure agreement we had. But I can definitely share with you that it's actually a quite competitive experience when we were trying to sign him up, because there were other competitors who also want to work with Lionel Messi, and they even offered a higher bid than we did. But Leo chose us because he thought we are a better choice, like a better partner to work with, especially in terms of like credibility and our experience in sports campaign. And we also basically he and his team also did due diligence on us, and he chose us, which is quite amazing.
No, it indeed is. And as you said, I think that people also have this question before, like why and how can, BitGet work with Messi? And I think you just answered it perfectly. It's all about trust. It's all about security. And as you established before, Messi is such a loving father and a loving husband. He cares about his image more than anyone else in the soccer field, I would imagine.
Totally.
And so, yeah, the fact that he chose BitGet to collab with is again, BitGet is one of the top 5 exchanges right now in the world, and this has just proved it perfectly. Now, moving on with the question when it comes to security, and we have experienced a lot of scams and hacks and rug pulls in the crypto space. Even the top exchanges right now, Coinbase and Binance, they are having troubles with legal problems. This is not just a problem with them only, but a problem with all crypto exchanges that we all need to address. And so, how is and why is BitGet a reliable and secure choice for the people who want to start with crypto?
Yes, sure. So let me just maybe I would say I'm very biased, of course, because I run this exchange. I worked with our team to run this exchange. But basically, for our users and for myself, when I chose a crypto exchange to work with or to use, I look at many aspects, and fraud, scam, some good measures to avoid those things, and security is definitely one of the major factors. So for BitGet, we have already launched our, we call it BitGet Protection Fund earlier last year, actually before the FTX collapse, to ensure that our users' assets are safeguarded, even if there are incidents happening. So the fund was originally valued at about 200 million USD. Right now, we increased it to 300 million USD in terms of the protection fund, and it's probably the second largest crypto exchange protection fund. The biggest is Binance Safu, which I think it's about 1 billion, but ours is 300 million. And right now, with Bitcoin price increasing, it's probably reaching 400 million already. Yes, so by the way, Nansen, it's a crypto third-party research firm. They identified BitGet as one of the 2 centralized exchange that have disclosed the BitGet, the wallet addresses for our protection fund. Basically, for our users, they can go to the website that we have and click on our wallet addresses. There are, I think, 6 wallet addresses available, and in total, it's the amount of this whole protection fund. And you can check on the on-chain data and see for yourself that the fund is there, rather than an exchange just declaring that they have the fund. So we have already pledged to secure the value of this fund without any withdrawal for the next 3 years, and we will make sure that it's above 300 million USD, even if Bitcoin price drops, which I think is of very low possibility. That's the first measure that we did. And the second measure we call it proof reserve. So we started to launch our proof reserve page in December 2022, right after FTX collapse, and the reserve ratio is updated monthly, and we want to ensure at least a 1-to-1 reserve ratio of our customers' funds. Right now, we actually have over 200% in terms of the reserve ratio, which is twice the standard of the industry. And again, this is also something that people can check, not just we declare that we have this. So you can use Merkle validator, which is also available on GitHub for our users to verify that their assets are safeguarded. And another thing I want to focus, I want to talk about, I would say the third measure is probably what we call KYC. So we started the KYC process, know your customer process, and we started a long time ago. But recently we ensured that all our users have to do KYC, otherwise their trading and withdrawal activities will be very limited. So these are all different measures that we implemented to make sure that BitGet is a reliable and secure choice for our users.
It's perfect, actually. And at the moment, I'm looking at your proof of reserve. And again, folks, you can check this on BitGet website. And you will not believe me when I say that I think BitGet has some of the most amazing
Pretty
reserve
much the
ratio.
highest.
Yeah, in the market. Like, I was surprised myself too. I've never checked this before, but as you said, the average is about 200% plus in terms of reserve ratio. But let me break it down for you. Some impressive numbers in terms of the platform's asset in Bitcoin compared to the user's asset. BitGet has 423% in reserve ratio. That means the total Bitcoin that BitGet has is 4 times that of the users. So you can withdraw all day, no problem. USDT, 132%, so 1.3 times more. Ethereum is 1.45, which is 144%. And here's the insane number, and get this. USDC, they had 2,000%. That is 20 times, 20 times more than the entire users fund on the BitGet in USDC. I don't know what to tell you, but this number, and it is audited by a lot of parties right now. It's all public. So I don't know what to tell you when it comes to security. This number has spoken everything when it comes to that. So check it out, man. Thank you guys so much. And thank you so much, Mr. Chen, for saying that. Now, and the next question, I think I'm going to be selfish a little bit and head this question towards Vietnam, the country that I was born. So does BitGet has any plans for development in Vietnam in the near future? Can you also give us a sneak peek into any attractive programs or rewards for the users in the coming time?
Sure. Since you talked about rewards, let's talk about rewards first. So we have some attractive program and rewards where which is exclusive for Vietnamese users from time to time. So the last one was a program called Deposit 50 to Get 50 for new users. So if you follow our Vietnamese social media channel on Telegram, Facebook, and TikTok, you'll be updated with some latest campaign. And right now, I also think, honestly, I've been to Vietnam multiple times, Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, for tourism, for business, and I was invited to a Vietnamese event this year, but due to collapse of time, I can't make it, but I really wish I could, because Vietnam is a very thriving country in terms of crypto adoption. I think it's one of the highest in terms of how many users are holding cryptocurrency. So for our company, we are definitely we definitely want to grow the market, not just in Vietnam, but in Southeast Asia in general. We are hiring some new positions for our regional growth team in Southeast Asia, customer support team, and even product team, as this is a very key market for the upcoming time. And also, as we know, there are Bitcoin halving approaching us next year, very likely in April 2024. And recently, we also see spot ETF, the BTC spot ETF being approved, not approved yet, but the possibility is becoming higher and higher. And that's why there has been quite some increase of Bitcoin price recently within just a week time. So we, in this kind of thriving market, we also notice there are some new people, like university students, just laymen who are interested in crypto. And hence we have produce something we call it blockchain for youth and blockchain for her. These are some CSR, social corporate social responsibility project that we have implemented, and we are doing the same thing in Vietnam. So there was one. Like a campaign with university kind of CSR project that we had in October with the foreign trade city, which I heard is the #1 city, a foreign trade university, which I heard is the #1 university in Vietnam. And we had some classes, free classes and hackathon events going on in this blockchain, blockchain for youth project. And our next step, we also want to increase our exposure with different music festivals or esports competitions in the region. Yeah, so stay tuned. There are lots of very exciting things happening.
First of all, I'm from National Economics University. It's not foreign trade university. And I'm also very biased in my school. I think mine is the best, not foreign trade. Yeah. So I think in this one, you made a wrong decision there.
We should go to your university then. Yeah,
yes, please.
Some folks there.
No, I think BitGet being the top exchanges in the world, I think you can make this happen. It's going to be easy, and I think right after the partnership with Foreign Trade University, when you established that working with a crypto exchange can be beneficial for the students, I think other universities will open up to the partnerships, and we can expect even more from the future. And I would love to see BitGet banners and events throughout all of the universities in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. In that matter, that would be fun.
Yeah. By the way, because I studied at MIT in the United States. I'm also establishing this US top school alliance among all the blockchain and crypto clubs in school, so that we can reach a larger audience. Basically, we want to do the same thing in many countries, and we have done something in Vietnam, in Taipei, in Europe, etc., where we want to provide free educational programs for the university students.
No, that is amazing. And if you are looking for a lecturer, I'm down. Just saying. Okay, thank you so much for that. And you also mentioned that this time is also a very good time for a vibrant time for the crypto market in general. Bitcoin hit 35,000. We're, I would say, winding down a bit, but I think the momentum is still there. But still, a lot of people think that this is just a mini bull run, maybe a trap from the market makers, and we will not see Bitcoin going up all the way forever. So there might be a drop coming soon. And so can I know more about your plans when it comes to development in this time, and how to overcome this period and continue to develop steadily in the future?
Yes, so it's really very hard to time the market and to I don't have a crystal ball in my hand. I wish I could, but it's really hard to say whether this is the start of a bull market or just a short-term pump. Which I personally, in terms of my own investment decision, I'm more inclined to the second, to the later, which in the long run, it really depends on how the spot ETF is, the approval is coming through, and then how is the US interest rate hiking going on in terms of the macroeconomics. So again, for us at BitGet, we just want to provide the best option for our users. We want to be a secure platform. We want to provide our users with great trading tools, such as AI-powered tools, such as the best UI UX. And we also want to make sure that we are positioned well for geographic expansion. So for example, this year we revealed that we are expanding into the Middle East region, including hiring some new staff members as our part of our overall global scaling strategy. And some countries that we are exploring are like UAE, such as Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and REK. So these are some UAE Emirates. But basically, there are certain global expansion we're looking into, and Southeast Asia is also another very important market that we are very interested in, and because of the big potential that you have and the very strong crypto adoption that we observe in the region. Yeah. What else? So we've been doing some very interesting activities this year. For example, we also launched something called BitGet Empower X Fund, which I kind of declared when we were in Singapore, when I was in Singapore September, and it's a 100 billion fund that we are putting into to increase the adoption of crypto in general, and especially we want to put this money into some regional exchanges with license and some data analytics firms, some media organizations that can contribute to the growth of the whole ecosystem. And that's why I call it Empower X. By the way, the name actually, I came up with it because I feel that BitGet is a strong leader in the space already, and we need to empower others rather than just BitGet growing ourselves. So these are some very exciting developments that we had. I just have too many things that I can share. So I'll stop here, other than like for everyone, but we have very interesting events and plans lining up.
No. It's amazing. Thank you so much for clearing. Okay, so now moving on to, I would say this is some of the questions that the communities are most interested in, especially from a managing director from BitGet. It will be very amazing to know your perspectives on these matters. So the first question, kind of irrelevant to BitGet, but about the market in general. We have a saying that the sun shines after the rain, and right now it's raining heavily. So do you think that at the end of 2024, everything will have running up again? And in your opinion, what are the investment opportunities in this market?
Yes, I do agree. The sun shines after the rain. And if I can add in something, I would say it's also those who are building and continue investing during the cold weather, for example, the rain or the bear market, that can harvest when the sun comes, when the sun shines. Yeah, so definitely be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. That's a strong saying by the investment guru Warren Buffett, although he's not interested in Bitcoin and crypto in general. But I think this saying, at least I myself find it very helpful. Right now, it's a bear market, and it's the best time to invest. So investment opportunities, I would say, number one, if you are a long-term holder, you can do dollar cost averaging at this bear market. Don't try to time the market. Right now, yes, Bitcoin is traded at about 34,000. Last week it was only less than 30,000. Do I think 34 is high or 34 is low? 34 is probably high in the short run, but it's definitely low in the long run if we are looking at this market for 1 to 2 years time. So even if it's 34, if you're interested in the space, do dollar cost averaging. Don't try to time the market because you can't. And then for some specific sectors in the space, I would say one sector that I'm personally very interested in is layer 2. So, gaming and social activities, that's like GameFi and SocialFi applications, like especially those who have strong potential to be a killer app. That's another sector that I'm very interested in. But that's for my own personal investment. I guess for our users, it totally depends on what's the so-called expertise that you have. Don't try to invest in a market that you don't really know a lot. Because, for example, when I invest in game and social applications, number one, I'll play with them. I'll use that and compare it with some other games that I did. And number two, I will look at tokenomics at a very deep and clear way, rather than just listen to what the project is saying. I will look at the on-chain data and make sure I understand what is the locking period, how is the token distributed, whether it's the users or only the founder and investment team, whether the tokenomics can attract real long-term users to the game and social applications. And then I'll look at the team and the investment team that they had, whether they are credible investors and entrepreneurs in the space or just some scammers. I definitely don't want to invest in scammers. So these are all different dimensions that I look into when I invest in a primary market project. By primary market, I mean I invest as a PE or as a VC, like a venture capitalist, into the firm directly. And then if I'm buying some token on the secondary market, it's all different dimensions that I'm looking into. For me, I'm more of a fundamental analysis, but for some users, they might be more technical analysis, and you have to know your domain very well before making an investment like that.
So another question. We've been talking about the price and the speculation and all that, but now let's dive into more of a technology-wise, where we see the internet in the early 2000s. It's just a very small thing, small technology. Nobody thinks that it's gonna succeed, but still now we can't leave our house without a phone, without internet. So it has become like an indispensable part in all of our lives. Do you think that in the future blockchain will follow a similar path? And are there still opportunities for the people who are late, who haven't been in this crypto market? Are we late, or are we still early, basically?
I think there are two ways of looking at it. If you are just a retail user, not interested in building something in the crypto space, you are still not late. Like I said, you can still do dollar cost averaging. You can try this feature at Bitget, which we call it copy trading, which is a particular useful tool for new beginners, where they can copy trade the more professional traders and investors' portfolio, so that they can learn together with them. And at Bitget copy trading feature, this is launched in May 2020, and we have already over 110,000 professional traders worldwide, and we have about 540,000 followers who have made over 55 million successful trades. But then number two, if you are a crypto entrepreneur or blockchain entrepreneur, and you are interested in exploring how the blockchain technology can benefit the society in the long run, and how you can contribute to that, and hopefully you have some special skills, such as how to code, or you can run marketing and operational activities for a project, or you are a CEO and entrepreneur who is interested in starting your own project yourself, which are all great qualities, and qualities that projects need. And if you are looking at some blockchain technology, I would say, yes, there are still lots of opportunities. We touched upon some, such as layer 2. I think layer 2 is actually has been a very important topic in the space since maybe 1 or 2 years ago. And we have been seeing the optimism and like different and the ZK, zero knowledge, different approaches in layer 2 in order to make Ethereum network more efficient. And there are still opportunities in layer 2. Actually, we are also incubating some layer 2 project at Bitget. And I myself has like a lot of friends in this space. So I would definitely think layer 2, ZK rollup, these are some technologies in blockchain that are very useful. By the way, I'm also co-president for the MIT Sloan Blockchain Club. So but this is like something I do at part-time. And we talk about blockchain technologies, even very cutting edge, early stage blockchain technologies on a monthly basis. And I would love to share more. And I will post about those things on my Twitter. So if you follow my Twitter, you get to be updated about crypto and blockchain at a very updated level.
Yes, please. 5 minute scuba team. Please pull up her Twitter page somewhere here. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
so
let people follow.
GRACY BITGET, GRACY BITGET, BITGET. And I personally post a lot of things on my Twitter, which is called X now. Yeah, feel free to follow me.
All right, thank you so much for that. Now, moving on to this is the last question, by the way, for BITGET and for Mrs. Chen. And very quickly, there are a lot of FUDs right now in the market. Even though we're seeing Bitcoin pumping all the way up, the market is very green. Still, people are pretty bearish because the media has covered all of the very negative side. And so BITGET is, I would imagine, no exceptions to these FUDs. So how is BITGET addressing these FUD news and to prove once again to the people, to the users, that you are trustworthy, you are secured, and there's nothing gonna happen with the exchange?
I can share with you a story. So earlier April, and this story very much relates to what you're asking in terms of the FUD news. So earlier in April this year, I was just having a meeting like this, and my phone started to bump lots of notifications, and there were like about 100 of tags of me on Twitter. And that was like this Indian influencer spreading FUD about us. He said, I'm the next SBF and BITGET is the next FTX. That's a very strong accusation, right? Think about that. And I was like, what happened? Like, why this just suddenly appear? So I called my team and asked them to check on the issue. And then it turns out that this is actually a project that they did pump and dump, and our technology team did froze their account because we want to compensate the affected users. And later on, we not just froze their account, but we also utilized our own protection fund that we talked about, the 300 million BITGET protection fund that we have in order to solve situations like this. And I also get to talk to that person who initiated the FUD. We actually met each other in Singapore this September as well during Token 2049, and we talked about lots of issues and like solve the misunderstanding and just basically put everything down. But that's how we value or we manage FUD, I would say. So number one, we want to make sure that we really understand what's happening and address the issue, whether it's our own issue or someone else's problem. We want to make sure that it's solved. And number two, even if there are situations that our users are affected because of the FUD or because of a project or whatever issue that we talked about, we will use our protection fund to compensate the users. And actually, for this case, even if my conflict with not mine, but it's more of like our company's conflict with this influencer is only solved in September, but we actually accommodated and compensated our user during April and May already. So we want to make sure that this is well managed. But for FUD, I think it will just happen on a daily basis. You can't really stop people from FUDing you. But what you can do, again, that's our philosophy, is to build a secure project, is to try to list the best tokens in the space. We're actually very selective in token listing. There are multiple projects approaching us on a daily basis that we said no to, because some of the projects, if you look at tokenomics, if you look at the team, they're just not qualified enough. So these are different issues that we did in order to avoid FUD. But if it happens, it happens. We'll all we want to do is to address them and manage those FUDs. But in general, I don't think we have lots of FUD at BitGet.
Yeah. No, I think you handled this perfectly. And, because of the way that you guys handle it, and I think this influencer also issued like an apology tweet to BitGet. So hey, kudos for you and the team for doing this and to managing it so perfectly. And you compensate the users too, so that is a plus for you. So I think, yeah, my last question was just that, and this should be the end of today's interview with BitGet and Mrs. GRACY Chen. So before we end this interview, do you have any closing thoughts to the 5 Minutes Crypto community and to the BitGet community watching this video?
Again, I think those are some philosophies that we discussed. Number one, continue building and continue investing with whatever strategy you are comfortable with in this bear market. Try to buy at bear, not the bull. Well, majority of the people will just come in during the bull market, which I think if you're a good audience and if you have been a follower to daily, you shouldn't be doing that. This is the right philosophy, like build and buy in the bear market rather than bull market. And then for BitGet, I want to emphasize that we are a long-term marathon runner rather than just a short-term sprinter. What I mean by that is we started in a bear market, and this is the second bear market that we are experiencing. And of course, our team and for BitGet, we want to continue to be this long-term marathon runner and provide great trading experience. List the best token for our users. We don't look at like short-term kind of gain, and because we want to make sure that the long-term gain is much more valued. Yeah, so if you agree with this philosophy of being a marathon runner, and I think BitGet is the right platform for you.
Absolutely. And again, thank you so much for this interview. And I think as a user, we should always diversify our portfolio. The same goes with our choice of exchanges. We shouldn't be putting all of our eggs in one basket on one exchange. I think we should play around, test around with different exchanges and open up to new opportunities, new experience. And I would say, besides the top exchanges, top 3 that we all know who they are, BitGet is also a very viable, safe option for users to put their money in and trade. Again, you guys have a big system of traders over there. Incredible volume, by the way, and a lot of reserves as well. So the users don't have to be afraid when it comes to withdrawing their money. So thank you so much once again for this interview. And it has been an incredible one. This is Chen.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.